Hello. Hi. I'll let it build. Hey, so I said 7:30. Right on time, am I? You know what it was? Do you know what it was, guys? I was trying to fix my hair because, as you can see, I put a bit of dye through it. Look at that. Anyway, and now my hair wants to do its own thing. It's gone fluffy. Kia ora. Kia ora, Mel. I'm gonna do a poll. Kia ora. I thought I'd do a poll because I'm only on for a couple of hours tonight, because I know that we've got the raffle and stuff, but the tickets are still selling, so I haven't got much left. But once we get all the tickets sold and all the money's in, which is, we're halfway there, then I can hopefully do or die, do the raffle on Sunday next week. Yeah, volume. What's going on? I don't know what's going on with this shiz. This is it, guys. This is natural. No hair products. I couldn't do it to my poor hair. It's just there. I'm pretty good. Yeah, still recuperating from yesterday. That was my bad. Dev's not a wig. We'll wait. He'll come in. Someone will be in to talk about my wig. It's fine. It looks like a wig right now. It probably does, actually. How weird. It's all one colour. So what happens when you get old? Obviously I've missed a patch there. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I've seen a few. Actually, there's a lot of different people that go in and say like little things for the host to read out. Hey, hello. Oh, hi, Natasha. Good evening. So I wanted to have more chat than card readings today. And I know, and well, actually I said card readings because I was going to do a poll to see if people wanted more card readings or the intuitive side, because I can't do it very fast at this stage. I'm getting better, faster, because I can't do it as fast as I'd like to get through. We're only getting through like 7 or 8 people. The way thing is going, yeah. I know, it's just a sensitive soft spot for me. It's getting longer though. If you can think, like it's been a year since I cut my hair. Oh, well, some people have like long manes by a year. My hair's actually quite fine, so it grows slowly. Ah, welcome. I'm glad you caught my live too. I'm only on for a couple of minutes, hours, because my lovely moderator cousin has work tomorrow, so we have to be nice to her. Hi, Italia. Yep, pretty crazy for me. Pretty crazy. I've been lucky today. We had an open home, so we had to go away, so we just went and had some lunch out and about. Went up to the beach. It was quite nice. Kia ora, Midnight. How's everybody? I'm going to do a bit of a poll later on, or just a question. So once we get a few people in. Yep, 9:30. Got to wrap it up. Well, yeah, we might be able to do one, but yeah, a bit of both. I was good as McDonald's because I had my kids, so you know, cheap and nasty and hard and fast, all in one. Yeah. Oh, it was interesting. I watched this dude, and he was like saying, oh, there's not many healed divine masculines on there, and he was talking for divine masculine from a divine masculine point of view. And part of me was like, oh, people are so, I mean, his points of view were great. I understood where he was coming from, but he's not a healed divine masculine. I can tell you that. And you're going to have a lot of men on here that are, declaring themselves as healed divine masculines. But actually they are healing human men. Divine masculine is an energy, and the divine feminine is an energy, that both live and reside within each and every single one of us. And I was wanting to do a bit of a video about that, but for me it's sort of like I don't want to, like stand on his mana or dishonor him, because he came forward with lovely aspects, but energy, he talks, he with the way that advice goes out there in the land of spirituality, they're interweaving so many different aspects, this modern spirituality, so many aspects into one thing, and it's very misleading and a lot of misinformation. So healing is a lifelong process. This is something I'll talk about all the time. None of us are ever truly healed, because there's so much to heal. And if we heal in this life, we heal in other lives that need healing too in this life. So it's sort of like we all kind of rise up together, because the divine feminine and divine masculine actually are one energy. It's because as human beings we've pulled them apart, because that's our structure, that's how our belief systems, day and night, good and bad, light and dark, masculine, feminine, and you'll find that they actually can't exist without each other. So they're actually one energy. But people get there, people start awakening to that idea, and when the world does, the world will change. But it's just hard sort of seeing that those kind of videos out there going forward with the right intentions, but so much misinformation. So much misinformation about what the divine masculine is. There's all these healed divine masculines. Well, it's actually not the masculine that's healing, it's the feminine within them. Because if you ever wonder why someone, when they do all their healing, they become more intuitive, they become more loving and nurturing to their environment and the people, that is a feminine aspect. It's a feminine that rises and pulls the masculine up. But we all have it inside us. So even as a female, I have masculine energy. It's just natural, it's spirit. Yes, thank you. Hi. But I mean, we all have different aspects. So I didn't want to go, oh, this is wrong. But for me as an energy intuitive, that's how I see energy. And it's something that I've actually, because I used to believe in the twin flames and my divine masculine, and I was a divine feminine, and then I found as my aspects of my spirituality started to evolve, I realized that that was very distorted and a very, I wouldn't say it's a kind of a love story that you would think it is. It's actually kind of a little bit about gaslighting, because if you don't have the divine masculine and divine feminine in unity within you, you're never going to find those aspects in another. Is your dad in spirit? I'll tell you this, Kiwi NZ33. Our loved ones, they are always proud of us. They love us, because you know what? When they go to the next level of living, they join the vibration of love, and they can see everything at once, and they know everything at once. And even when you make mistakes, they love you. Even when you don't do things right, they love you, because they have the characteristics of their personality, but they don't have that physical connection that makes them like judgmental or hateful, angry. They actually just love you no matter what you do. So just know that, okay? So if you feel that you need that validation, that your father would be proud of you right now, your father was always proud of you. You know what? they know so much about you, and if you think that they're, just because they're not with you in physical body, that they don't come in and spend time with you in your darkest days, in your brightest days, you would be wrong, because they're always with us. Just speak to him. Just speak to him. Thank you for the likes and the follows. Spirit is just in a different space. It doesn't mean that they're away from us. It's very complex. So everyone always says, you know, everything's high vibrational in different realms. Well, actually, realms are all on top of each other, and we all exist at one time. It's just that in the 3D world, we can only perceive 3 dimensions. But human beings in the 3D world can actually raise up their awareness to be able to perceive small fragments of other dimensions. Everyone has this right and ability, and some just don't know or are not aware. Yep. Without ego, that's right. That is right. They don't have the judgment that they would feel here. That's right. Thank you. Appreciate that. And they do, and I believe that too. And it's all about how you believe and perceive your life to be. So like you have like, you know, there's a lot of spiritual mediums, and they were awakened since they were children, and they're like icons, and those are the people that you can, when they talk about the process of what they got to go through to get, you know, to get in full control of their abilities, it's a lot of sacrifice. But the thing is, whenever you see them, they always come forward reassuring, like our loved ones, reassuring us that they love us, reassuring us that they're okay, because they don't have, you know, they don't go to negative spaces. They just reconnect to the vibration of love, which is our natural vibration as a soul. Yes, yes. So as everyone knows, I'm actually a tarot card reader, but I had a very big upgrade about, how long's it been? Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, where I stepped away from the cards and started doing intuitive readings, which is without cards, just energy. I've always been an energy sensitive type of person, and in the last 5 years I've been working hard on building up my mediumship. Through classes, through talking to people, and actually learning along with the universe, because as soon as you open doors to the universe, they start opening doors back. You know, it's an equal exchange. I've had to go through a lot of my own personal healing, which has been hard. So if you'd like to ask questions, let's see how we go. Hi Desiree. How are you today? Hang on, what's the time for you? So it's morning. Good morning. Yeah, so, but that was, it's not, well, it was 3 weeks ago that I just gained confidence to do it. It's not like I couldn't do it before, but it's just more, I was so reliant on okay. Oh, that's so recent. Okay, so guess what? When it comes to future stuff, that's something only you will know. And it's like I could say, yeah, you're going to get married, you're going to win $1 million, but you could change that by a moment of change in your choice. Because the future is actually not written. It's only suggested. So it's pure suggestions when it comes to predictions. So it's how you believe your life will be. And I'll give you an exercise, okay? So for all the people out there that want to energy classes in Kaikouri, I don't know any there. So this is what I do anyway. Sorry about that. Is that if I want to access my higher self, this is how you find out how you're going to be in the future. Is that if you can imagine yourself without any trauma, without any pain, without any suffering, and completely healed in the future, right? What does that person look like, and what are they doing? This is how you learn to move along your timeline, okay? And you create that image, right? Does Byron want to be with me? Life is like a box of chocolates. That's what I just heard it when I read your question. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And I think that's the excitement. You know what I mean? That's the excitement. Everyone wants to know about the future, right? I want to know what's going to happen in the future. But the adventure is life. And sort of we have to not so much worry about the future because it's not yet made. It's sort of like what's going on with you here and now that can allow you to move more harmonious into the future. You know, what's going on in here? What's going on in here? You know, it's sort of like that's the questions that we need to sort of ask ourselves, you know. A lot of it's pretty clear. If you put the intention out there that you're going to have an amazing week, no matter what comes in, okay, just kind of got to slow the roll, guys. No matter what comes in, you can still overcome it and have that positive mindset. You know what I mean? It is that simple. I want to have a good week. No matter what comes in, I'm going to overcome it. And then just go about your week setting that intention. And if you have something that comes up and it stops you or holds you in your pathway, in your day, in your week, you say, I have a positive mindset. Anything negative that's trying to stop me, I will overcome it. I will find the solutions. I will find the resources, the people, the pathway that I need, and find the direction around. A lot of us we come to a halt, and then we think that we can't go any further, and we start giving up on ourselves. That's normal. That's human. But to sort of access that higher mindset, we have to also believe that we can get through things and that we can do it independently without trying too hard. Or it's almost like we have this societal conditioning that we have to grind everything out, we have to work hard, we have to commit 100%. Well, to healing, please commit 100% to yourself, right? But a lot of it, we have to understand that when we go into the mindset of ease, effortlessness, harmony, peace, serenity, we start bringing those words into our language, it then becomes a mindset, a belief system starts that is more positive for you as a person, and then solutions come in because you're not clouded by doubt, you're not clouded by fear, by stress, by anxiety. We regulate our energy down into our heart, which is balance, and then we ask for the solution. And 9 times out of 10, you'll know the answer. That's the thing. You'll know the answer. Who's an antenna? Each and every one of us is an antenna. And I know a lot of it's like everyone thinks, oh, you know, you've got to be gifted. You've got to be gifted to have these gifts. No, you don't have to be gifted. You just have to learn to trust yourself. That's the truth. Although, if you have blockages, things that you've tried so hard to move, things that you've tried hard to shake, that's the time to turn to people and ask them for help, for healing. That's the time to say, hey, I've tried everything I know possible to do this, but I can't and I need help. Then you seek out a healer. Then you seek out, you know, a psychic, a medium, whatever it is that you're looking for the answers to. And what they do is create that bridge. You know, a lot of us want to know about our loved ones that have passed. And that's normal because it's sort of, a lot of us can have regrets or wish we said, you know, don't wait till they're dead to want to say things to them. Don't wait till they're gone to want to tell them that you love them, to ease your mind and your heart in the now. You know, and I know I'm all over the show because the energy is just all over the show. But that's the truth. Don't wait till they're gone. Don't wait till the future. When they're here, appreciate them. Because when they're gone, then you go, oh, I wish I had have said this. I wish I, and bring no closure to yourself. You do. You do have a gift. Each of us. Sometimes it's not spiritual. That's the thing. Like, people think, oh, no, I need to be clairvoyant or psychic. Well, sometimes you're really good at something smaller. Or no, actually, I don't want to diminish that, because even the small things matter. You might be really good at painting flowers, you know, and that is a gift, because not everybody can paint flowers. You know, it doesn't always have to be an intuitive gift. We all each have intuition, and I feel like I'm really hopefully not leading you down a weird path. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. You're going to have people that won't agree with that. But for me, each and every one of us has a gift. It just expresses itself differently, because we all have our own vibration, our own authentic soul vibration. So what that means for me is we each have a set mission or goal to achieve in this life. Yeah. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You know, sometimes you need their help, but you can't afford it, because some people have to use a lot of energy. That's what you have to understand when it comes to healers. They've actually got to give a little piece of themselves to heal you, so that there's always that extra, you know, that equal exchange with, you know, for their services. But you could do little bits for yourself to aid in that process. It's just that if you have an experienced healer that knows what they're doing, they'll shift it fast, because they know the processes, right? But a lot of us don't have patience to actually shift that process ourselves over time. We want to here and now, but healing is a lifelong process. It never stops. So yeah, thank you for the follows and the likes, guys. Appreciate you. Energy exchange. Yep, it's a fair exchange, because even for me, even for my in-depth readings that I do, my personal readings, I take that time beforehand. I meditate. If I'm doing pre-recorded messages, I channel. I write down automatic writing, see what comes forward. Actually never been wrong, which is kind of cool. I like that. Never been many misses at all. And that was just something that I just started doing. You know, it's like, oh, I'm going to automatically start writing and channeling messages coming through. And the amount of people, when I just give the, you know, the written automatic writing, they go, holy moly, how did you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. It just came in. It's a knowing. And you're just writing what you're feeling comes in, whatever words, songs, fragments of information. But a lot of that is learning to regulate your energy. That's the key. You want to really get into clarity of mind, of knowing. You've actually got to slow your roll. And that's by breathing down into your heart space and just mellowing that out. Breath is, for me, the breath or breath work is actually your connection to the divine. It's life force. You're bringing in good prana, good positive energy into your being and refilling your cup. So when you do that, also when you breathe, your thinking mind can't think. It actually stops for a moment. So the more you focus on your breath, on your lungs, following the breath all the way in, up to the head, round, down the throat, into the lungs, slowing that whole process down, visualizing, your mind stops thinking. And for a moment it's clear, and in that nothingness, in that stillness, you'd be surprised what comes forward. Flora? Okay. Here's my thing. Do you really want your ex to reach out to you? For me, if you can't love yourself, you're never going to have someone that loves you fully back. Because I say this all the time in most of my readings. If you don't have a love relationship with yourself, no one's going to know how to love you, because you don't know how to love yourself. You don't know how to speak your own love language. You don't know your wants and needs. And if you don't know your wants and needs, you're going to get someone that doesn't know your wants and needs. Match the vibration of the person you want to come back into your life or be in your life. or actually raise the bar, I would say. Raise the bar. Raise your vibration up. Raise up your standards. Raise up your boundaries. And then attract someone who actually cares about you properly. You know, because you're worth it. Nobody deserves to have some person that comes in and loves you, takes you for all you got, and then takes off. That ain't fun. That's not a pattern you want to repeat. And so many of us do. Like, I know. I've been in that pattern. And it takes a lot to break it. And the knowing that you can actually love yourself and be fulfilled by that. The body needs a partner, right? Your body, your physical human body believes it needs a partner. But your spiritual body, your emotional body, your mental body can actually exist on its own and be fulfilled. It's just learning that you can. Yeah, it's an unfortunate pattern that each of us, male and female, have to learn this pattern of being used by someone that we love or left by someone that we love, like really love. And we have to learn to break it because of that pattern. Learn it once, run away. Learn it twice, you're going to be there and you're going to stay in that pattern until you recognize that you deserve better. But 9 times out of 10, you hit rock bottom before you know you deserve better. Why not accelerate up knowing you need better instead of going down? My philosophy is that, you know, if someone is your ex, 9 times out of 10, they've done something to earn that title. Kia ora, kia ora. Hi, Lucy. Hi, guys. Thank you for coming in. So I'm just like talking a lot today because I wanted to see if people actually wanted me to do cards or intuitive. Because I told you guys this morning about my experience that I had over the weekend, and that wasn't fun. And it took me a wee while to get better. I can tell you that. You can't meld, you know, when you interweave the energies together through the mind space with people that you love, because you're not supposed to know their life path, and they're not supposed to know their life path because it leaves it with no value. So it's sort of like we all have to discover what we need to discover in the time in which we can discover it. Otherwise it becomes, what do you call it? Cheap and nasty. It's not a fulfilling space because it has to be, you know, be able to be perceived in the mind and received in the heart. Forever person. I'll come back to you, Mel. Mine was my forever person. You know what? This is just what came to my mind. Every time you fall in love with someone, they're going to feel like your forever person. So yes. Because right now, it may feel like your forever person. You know, you answered your own question. Am I with my forever person? If it was just, am I going to be with this person? You know, but you already have that title. You don't need validation if you already know. Okay. Do you have recommendations for how to protect ourselves from negativity from others? Or when out? Yes, actually, I have a very lovely lady that I follow on here called Key of Truth Academy. She has a series for energy sensitives, and she has very set strategies, and I like the way she explains it. She has her own style. I always say that she has her own style, but when it comes to energy sensitives, she has so much ways of showing you how to do it. For me, I actually like her advice too, because it aligned with what I would do anyway, just naturally. So it was weird to hear someone actually speak that out in a way that was understandable to everyone. Which is a lot about spiritual hygiene, right? So spiritual hygiene is where we clear our energy each day, morning and night. That's grounding. That is also clearing your aura of energy. I use meditation in the shower, so I would say my prayers, my karakia, cleanse anything that doesn't belong to me. So I have to also clear a lot of residual energy out of my space, because I interact with a lot of people on that spiritual level. The energy will stick to me, right? It's like glue. It's kind of like sticky glue in the aura, and you actually have to clear that off. Some will sage, smoke, meditate, ground, but in some way, shape or form, visualizing energy that doesn't belong to you to leave you. So I imagine it being washed away, right? Water is my element as well, so it's comforting for me. The ocean is a really good thing for clearing the aura, because it's a natural space of cleansing. And then in doing that, putting up light around my body, and like they call a circle of light around my body, and closing that from negative energy. Just setting the intentions. It's intentions, and it's also language. You have to be mindful of language when it comes to intentions. You have to be very specific, and it just depends on what you want. So if you want clearing, you set the intention of clearing your body, because energy hears you, it listens, it can be used in a way that is good, just by visualization, and then that intention of moving energy, clearing your body of any negativity, and letting it go to the earth. I always return it to the earth, because the earth itself will transmute it. It could be cultural for me, because I'm a Māori, and it's about, the whenua, the land for us. It could be the stars for you. You might give it to the universe up. It's just whatever is within your belief system. And then I just wrap myself in light, and I put the intention of sending light wherever I go too. So that was something that I learned from Key of Truth Academy, which is the additional little step that you can put in there. Set the intention of sending light on my path, so that no negativity could touch me, and that I would be, meeting with people that are more harmonious to my energy and protecting me from things. Setting the intention of good energy going around the people you're going to connect with, or the place or the space, creating a protective dome around that space. I do it often around my house. I set the intention of protecting me and my family, because I'm a very bright light, that often negativity will just come to my door, not even joking. So I will often put a shield by the doors, the gates, and it's just like visualization and intention, visualizing light going across my gate, over the top and under my house, around all the boundaries of my, the fences and things like that, and keeping ourselves set with karakia and intention. So karakia, the prayers. And that's just sort of like, when you get into that deep spiritual space, knowing that prayers are actually a part of, whether you're, praying to God or to the universe, it's that same intention of keeping, your rituals or your boundaries up. It just connects you upwards to the divine. Sorry guys, I think whatever you feel is helpful, but our choice, yeah, that's right. Hello Tanya, hello Vanessa. Why can't I let go even though he did something wrong twice? This is a hard question to answer, and I only say that because it took me a very, very long time to let go of my kid's dad. And he was toxic as he was toxic as no disrespect to him now, because he's trying. It is hard. It's almost like, for me, he wasn't actually the catalyst of change that started my healing journey. It literally, the way I let him go was that I just slowly disconnected from him emotionally, just one little piece at a time. Every time he played up, every time he was disrespectful, aired my laundry out to the neighbors, things like that, just everything. It just started to I slowly unsewed myself from being bound to him. And then when I got into my spiritual space, I actually started to null and void any spiritual soul contracts connected to him, or any energetic cords connected to him, releasing him back to the universe with love and good intentions. That's the thing. That's how you create good karma. So you have to understand that. Where if you go, I just want to get rid of him, I just want to get rid of him, guess what the universe does? Well, the universe goes, well, I just want to get rid of him, I just want to get rid of him, and then throws it back. Do you see? It's like you've got to learn, give it away with love, the universe takes it with love. So you just got to let that person go slowly, gently, and lovingly. And it just changes your karma. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So hopefully that helps. Sorry, Fliblibber. I don't know what you said to me. Yeah, that's right. And it's just the intention. You just visualize that white energy, white light energy. Sorry, I don't want to say white energy, but like just that light coming in. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Katakesh Designs. I like that. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool name. Thank you so much. Yeah, all in good time. You're very welcome, Mel. I'm glad that was helpful. Amen. I've already answered the question. Okay, somebody was asking me a question. I'm sorry, I probably didn't even realize. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Higher Ground. Yeah, I try my best, you know. Do I see you in a relationship anytime soon? Yes. And I only say that because I hope that relationship is with you, yourself. If you're in a good relationship with yourself, you'll tend to find someone that's in a good relationship with themselves, and then you can be in a good relationship with each other. So it's hard when it comes to love, you know, because everyone will want that person, but you've got to be that person for yourself. You've got to be that person for yourself. And then here's the thing about love, okay, everybody? Love is work. You want to be in a relationship with someone, you got to want to work. That means not casting them out when they do something, not little things, I mean not for little things, but when they do the big things, chuck them out. When they do bad things, chuck them out. Set that boundary, you know. But if someone's good to you and it's only little things that are irritating you, or when it gets boring or dull, because that's also part of a relationship too, when it gets dull, because you might have been together, you might be comfortable with each other, you know what I mean, and you always yearn for the beginning when it was more, you know, when it was heated or passionate, you yearn for that. But over time you become like, you know, friends. You know, and it's not a negative, but a lot of people always want the spice. But real love is actually loving someone through time with effort, and not devaluing them, still holding them in high regard. And not many people know how to do that, because over time we slowly devalue in people's eyes. Oh, you don't treat me right, you don't take me to dinner every night, you're not buying me presents, you're not, you know, like it's very mundane things that we want sometimes. So yeah, you want to be in a relationship? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hi Mel, how are you? I recognize your name now. At first I was like, and then I realized now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Love is for me, I say love is a vibration, not an emotion. Because I feel like what we yearn for is like passion, delight, ecstasy, you know, very sensuality, sexual, and things like that. Those kind of words. Those all sort of are like a cluster of emotions or feelings, whereas love itself is a vibration. Are you a psychic? I'm an intuitive. I don't like the word psychic. Are you in relationships with yourselves? Would you like me to go through the whole spiel again? But that was one thing I had to learn for myself too, guys, is that I had to learn that for myself. That I had to love myself, like 100% love myself. And then it's sort of like when you learn to love yourself, you also learn to trust again. Because a lot of us, like, you know, especially feminine energy, we don't trust people so much. You know, once burnt, twice shy. It gets, you know, can I trust you? Can I be open to you? And we put our guard up all the time. And then we start looking for things to pick apart. Because we've been hurt in the past. Oh, it can't go this good for forever. So there's got to be something wrong. And especially in a time where temptation is so easy. You know, it's just easy. Where do you still? The trust is at? What's an intuitive? Oh Lord, that's a long ass answer to that question. An intuitive is someone that reads energy and then gives a message. So I'm not going to read your loved one, though we all know that happens too. It's very random for me. If it's not something you feel comfortable with, feel free to move along. Yeah. That's good, Autumn. It's actually really good. Yeah. Guess what? You know, here's the thing. Your heart's not broken. Your mind broke. That's when we learn that we're feeling our feelings through our mind, not actually your heart is always whole. Because I know that because like for me, when I had my heart broken, it felt like a hole was missing out of my chest. That's how it felt like. Someone literally punched right through me and pulled out a piece of me, right in the heart chakra. It was like that. Like I had a hole missing, and I remember just clutching to myself and crying because I felt like I couldn't breathe. But then I found that, you know, actually my heart wasn't broken. My mind broke. Because the thought of losing that person hurt me so much that I broke it myself. Because sometimes we get very set ideals on who our partner should be that we can't shift our focus into. We have actually so many soulmates. So many soulmates out there. You know, your dog's a soulmate, your cat's a soulmate, your children, your mother, your father, whether we like that or not, they're soulmates. They're being put on your path for a specific reason. Sometimes soulmates come in to teach you lessons, right? So sometimes we meet someone, we really love them, but their mission in life was to teach you this lesson. And your mission was to learn it. So often when I look at all the heartbreak that I've had, I thought to myself, no, as I am now, not back then. Back then it was like very unhealed and very anxiety, stress-filled chaos. Let's just put it like that. But as a person now that's healing, I'm able to look back and think, you know what, you did teach me a lot about myself then. I just didn't realize it. And then you actually appreciate, because of that experience, how much you gained in knowledge and knowing about how not to be. Because it's funny how we come here to learn how to be ourselves, but we first learn how not to be. Because that's just how we seem to learn, is that we got to know what we don't want, and then we kind of move towards what we do want. But then if we don't know how to heal that space, we often get confused about what we do want. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mel. Yes, Mel took me to the ocean. Actually, Mel keeps taking me to the ocean. Moana. So I'm not going to sing the song, I'm sorry. I know I keep saying that. I keep singing Moana to you. Yeah. A lot of us have to fight to come back to ourselves, because we've been so far removed from who we really are, because we've been playing a role and we've been moving in that direction of the role, but that role has been assigned by someone else. And then we go through heartbreak, and then we have to find out who we are again, and that's a very hard space. Oh, hi Stella, how are you? That's right, because some of us, we only go through that catalyst of change through pain, because we learn the hard way a lot of the times. But I had to actually stop thinking that myself, because here's the thing, all my life I got told, oh Sonia, you learn the hard way, everything you touch you break. This is something that I was told, and just without people knowing that, over my life, the more I would hear that, the more that I would believe it. And it became a foundational belief system in my mind that I would always learn things the hard way, and that everything I touched I would break. And I had to actually reverse that. I had to remember that I could fix things too, and that I could find it with ease and with comfort. And that rewrites the script. And I tell you what, you've got to go through a lot of stuff to rewrite the script that you've been written, that has been written for you in your mind and by others. Yeah. It's all the kids are, I tell you. Yeah, for sure, Des. It's the same for me too. Seems heartbreak is always the key to moving into healing. For me, it was a combination of many things, but they just seemed to pile on top of each other. And it was actually the smallest thing that literally broke the camel's back, was that last little feather of pain that just fell down, touched it, and everything just went kaput. And yeah, it was a build up over time, but I was ready. That's the cool thing about really embarking on a spiritual healing journey, is that when it's your time to truly heal, it's your time to truly heal. Because we might go through very small sections of healing in our lives, but we always revert back. But there's always that one time where reverting back isn't even a possibility, because it's like, I can't go back anymore. I can't repeat that anymore. I can't be sad anymore. That was mine. I couldn't be depressed or sad anymore. I had to make that change and that choice to decide that I wanted to be something else. I had to play a different role, or no role at all, I guess. Just be myself and let that be enough. Oh gosh, here we go. Are you an interviewer? Is this a job interview? How do you receive messages and read energy? I go into a place between here and there, and I allow my guides to bring forward intuitive messages, which is fragments of information, songs, knowing, sensing, or visual aspects. And well, actually, I have not, and I've only just really started there. Before that, I was a card reader, but I've had an upgrade, which I appreciate. Yeah, let that be a good motivation, because guess what? This is why I healed too. When healing myself, I have the ability to help heal my children, because my children have some of my dysfunctions, because most of their life, what's my breathing in my eyes being weird? For most of my life, I was unhealed with my children, so they picked up a lot of my distortions, my mental illness. Well, not really, but the things I would say, because I was either angry, stressed, or anxious, or depressed, right? So they saw this type of behavior. So in the space of healing, I can recognize when they're going down. I can recognize when they need me to be firm, or when they need me to be loving and nurturing, and in that be a lot more intuitive in what they need for them to feel stronger and more loved. And that's why we heal, because then we can help our children heal. And then when our children have children, their children grow up with healed parents and don't carry that burden that a lot of us carry. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? That's why I heal too. Oh, thank you, Kylie T. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Kelly. Kelly? Unfortunately, we have to learn to live with them, because guess what a narcissist is? A narcissist is an empath in reverse. And they have the ability to heal and change if they truly want to. Because you have to understand, okay, there's people that are born without empathy. There's a lot of, like psychos. There are people born like that, yes, for sure. But a lot of narcissists, especially, for men, they've been raised that way. They've inherited it from their fathers. And you have to understand that it's not so much that they need to be put into their own universe, is that they have to choose to heal. And then the divine masculine energy hasn't even awakened to the knowledge that it has to heal yet, because critical mass, right, there's not enough of them yet. But there is a lot of healed masculines out there for sure. But the divine masculine energy is in each and every single one of us. Each of us has that responsibility to heal the little narcissist inside of us, the ego, that toxic space. And the more each of us removes that toxicity, the more that masculine energy will rise. But I wish I knew, because I'd send a few people there, to be honest, but the universe would just send them back. That's the downside. It's like, here, have this narcissist. Like, hell no, you have this narcissist back. They don't want to deal with that shit either. Sorry, there was an in-mind joke. So, I'm way behind. Kia ora, kia ora. Kia ora, Moana. Thank you for the flowers. Oh, that's okay. Sorry, because sometimes I get trolls on here and I get a bit, they ask similar questions and they can be very frustrating. So I do apologize if my energy came across very abrupt. Conditioning, yeah. They but that's right, we heal ourselves. That's why I said right at the beginning, I said there's a man who was saying there's a healed divine masculine. No, he's not. He's a human man that's healing, but it's his feminine energy that's healing him. And I said most people, when they heal themselves, they actually become more intuitive, more loving, more nurturing, and that is a feminine aspect. It's a feminine that rises first, because the masculine resides in the physical, right? So the feminine goes to the spiritual, and as it becomes balanced, they actually help the masculine to rise. His job is to protect, but not just protect, to also learn to balance with intuition and to nurture. And then you'll find that those two energies, when we become fully awakened, the feminine and masculine no longer exist. They become one again. That is oneness, that is wholeness. But because of our human conditioning, we often believe they are divided, that they are separate. But they actually coexist inside each and every one of us. Thank you very much for the gifts. Hi. Hi, Alicia. Yes, even me. That's why I always have to double check. Like I always double check. So whenever I make a decision or I get a message, I always double check, is this me or is this my ego? Me is this my intuitive self speaking to me, or is this my ego? And I've had to learn discernment, because sometimes I may come out with messages, but they're in retaliation to something that I've experienced or seen. And it's not so much retaliation, that's not a good word. But it's a retort, right? Like in a debate, because I want to be right, I want to feel right. So I'll feel drawn to bring forward a message. So sometimes I have to step back and say, whoa, come on, Sonia, what's going on? And then I have to regulate. That's what I do. Go back into a space of peace, serenity, be at ease, and then allow that message to come forward in its true form, right? It's sort of like, okay, now I know what the message is. I'm not putting my little piece in there, you know, my piece, my little bit of ammunition to fuel the ego space. So you always have to check, double check. Yes, if they choose, but true, if they choose not to, there's nothing much you can do. Well, healing is a choice. You're right. Healing is a choice, and we all have to choose to heal. Like it is actually can't be forced. But you'll find that the universe will just continuously pile on stuff until you choose to heal. Because at some point, okay, how do I describe that? So they just said, say it properly. Okay. So narcissists have to exist in the world because empaths have to realize that they're empaths. And it's through that acknowledgement of being an empath that we learn to heal ourselves. And sometimes we're the narcissist in one life, and sometimes we're the empath. You have to understand there's always an interweaving. Depends if you believe in reincarnation or not. But that is one of my beliefs, is that at some stage I wasn't a good person, but in this life I get to heal that in this life. Whatever I was before that wasn't good, I get to learn that lesson now in this life and heal that for all my lives, all my lifetimes. Bring my soul to peace, into peace, into one whole piece. Collect all the fragments I lost the last time, or soul loss that I had last lifetime. And in this lifetime, I get to heal all that. It's a beautiful space to go into when you really truly awaken to your, not so much your divine purpose or your sacred purpose, but to yourself. Self-awareness, self-realization. Sorry, I talk a lot. You smell, the universe would put no dumping sign out and send them back. That's right, because they don't want them. That's why they're here, right? So can you get a private reading from her too? Oh yes, she did contact me, Natasha. It's all good. We had a bit of a chat. Oh, kia ora, kia ora. No worry. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. Oh, here's the thing, guys. I just speak it from my heart, and it's because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and the thing is, I've had to learn a lot through my own mistakes, through trial and error, through discerning, is this my truth? Is this my authentic truth? Where does this sit with me? Like, there's a lot of, like, to come into the knowing, there's a lot of time in between where you're having to find and calibrate to certain truths, and some truths will quickly shift you into a different type of mindset or way of looking or perception, and other truths will hurt. Truth can either be beautiful or painful. It just depends on what it is and where you're at. Yes, everyone can, for sure. Hi, Tanya. Yeah, but you're an empath in this life, so in this life you get to heal it. That's the cool thing. You get to heal it. You get to pull it back and look at it and open that box. That's Pandora's box, right? That curiosity within us that wants to know more. A lot of us look forward, right? But it's only really in the here and now that's real. So here and now in this moment is the only thing that's real. Everything else is sort of flexible energy. Yeah, it's funny, I got this. This is me. Oh, that's awesome, body count. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's right, Mel. Yep. But here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about, at some point you have no choice but to heal. You can't rise when you're tied to a rock. The rock does not exist. It's like the Matrix, right? With the spoon, where they had to learn to bend the spoon, and then that little boy says the spoon does not exist. It's made up. A lot of it is fear. That's the rock. We fear things. We fear change. We resist it. We fear failure, rejection, uncomfortable feelings, you know. And then we realize at some point that rock, it was never there. I had created that rock. I had tied myself to a rock that didn't exist. Because as soon as you want to change and push forward, you can. There's like, what would stop you, right? What does stop you? It's the mind. And the mind creates the rock. We don't want them here. Yeah, I know, but they gotta exist. For you as an empath, or for someone that has a sensitivity to energy, you actually have to have your counterpart. And your counterpart, if you're an empath, is a narcissist. But when an empath heals, they become clairsentient. And they become more in control of their energy, of their heart energy, which is soul energy, intuition, or creativity, if it's not spiritual for some. And that's why narcissists exist, because they push empaths into spaces of healing to create a clairsentient, which is where we should be, really, where we sort of harmonize with the frequency or the vibration of love. Yeah. I'm a narcissist. Sometimes now. My guides tell me sometimes. Yeah, that's right. And I've had the same thing happen to me too. Spaces that don't accept the authenticity of others is a clear indication. It's so sad too, because not everybody will have the same ideals or belief systems. And the whole key to, really truly stepping into unity is to understand that is okay, and that it can be expressed differently but still have truth in it. It's like with the blind monks touching, they were blind monks, they were taken to different parts of the elephant. They didn't know that they were touching an elephant because they could only tell from their part of the elephant. One was a rope, one was a ladder, one was a hose, because they didn't realize that as a whole thing it was an elephant. And that's how the world sees itself in parts, in pieces of the whole picture. But if you were to put all those pieces together, you would then find it creates a whole elephant. Wholeness. It's an interesting concept. But I like people that are different, and I even if I don't align with people's belief systems, I still accept them, because I feel like there's a space where we can be flexible. If you respect me and respect what I have to say and listen to me, I would also in return respect you and listen to you and what you have to say and understand where you're coming from, instead of putting up this, oh no, you have to be this way, you have to be that way, and this is how energy goes. Actually, energy has changed. It's not even the same on how it used to move. It's heightened so much more over the past, ever since I started really getting into my spirituality. Even over 5 years, it's changed. So it's sort of, we're just all learning to be, that's all. Sorry. It's the narcissist. There you go. Yes, everybody say hi to Naz. You just walk right into the thick of that there. Yeah, the limitations. I gave an example last week, and it's a very simple example. But I wanted these drawers, and they were for free on Facebook Messenger, okay? And I messaged the guy, I said, hey, can I please be considered for these drawers, because I really like them and they were free. And he says, yep, please call me on his number, right? And there was a moment there I was like, oh, you know, I hesitated, because I actually didn't want to call this man, because I felt awkward and uncomfortable to call him. And so I was like, what's stopping you from ringing this person? What's stopping you from ringing this person? And it's sort of like my higher mind comes in and says, nothing. Nothing's stopping you from ringing this person. I go, well, you know, I feel like if I ring this person, I might be rejected. I don't know them. I feel awkward. You know, I feel scared. Okay, I'm afraid. I have fear to ring this person. And then they said, the fear isn't, it doesn't exist. There is no fear. And I was like, that's right, they're actually, in my mind I knew that I had stopped myself. So I called this man and says, hi there. And it was weird, because I felt weird going in, awkward. And I was like, hi, can I please, drawers, brown? Like I'm weird like that, right? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, because it was first and first serve. I'm so sorry. I've just given them away, because I hesitated. Because I was afraid. If I had moved when I wanted it, I would have got it. But I hesitated because I was afraid. And then I got told there was no fear. And I realized actually there was no fear. I was actually literally holding myself back. I created that scenario without even knowing, you know, that it would be awkward. And he was actually really lovely and friendly. There was nothing that would have made me feel uncomfortable at all. It was just me. And it was only like last week. So, was it this week? No, it was last week. So, I mean, even me as a person, sometimes we have hesitations, we have fear. We just have to remember that there is no fear, that we create the fear. But sometimes we need fear if we're in danger, okay? So sometimes fear is healthy. It's there for a reason, but we don't have to linger in it. So, okay. Sorry guys, I'm far behind. Oh, that sucks. Hearing now is such a hard place to be for me. Is it like the hearing now is in your current present? Ooh, thank you, Lucy. It's warm like my heart. Thank you. Well, it's hard because the here and now is what we have to deal with currently. And I feel a lot of emotion in those words. So I get that. And guess what? Sometimes it is hard. But that is a phase. Yeah, and I don't want to sound cold-hearted. I'm not going to say, oh, tomorrow you're going to get over it and, you know, you're going to win $1 million. No, it's a process. But if you each day try to get out of that feeling of heaviness or the stuff you're going through, you may find that it actually gets a little bit better. Well, they say life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I heard that earlier on in my mind, so I feel like I need to say that to you. Projection, yeah, I like that, yeah. There you go, mine, yes. Thank you, Alfie. Yeah, there are levels. It's more like an evolution. It's sort of like you've got to gain knowledge in your own time and space. Own time and pace, and slowly awaken your mind to new perceptions or knowledge that allows you to broaden the way you see your life. And it is like, for me, when I have any negative kind of thought systems in the old days before I started healing myself or healing, I would spiral out into very depressive, spaces and get really dark. I actually used to feel The world was better off without me, that I was a second-class citizen, that people looked down upon me because I had made many bad choices in my life. And I used to think this on a constant basis because my negative mind was driving the car, it was the driver. And then sort of moving into the healing space, and I slowly started to heal and get over things. And that's a process all on its own, the actual healing aspect of your emotional trauma. That my higher mind started to step forward and take the wheel. So if you can understand, it's sort of like the more pure voice that's related to my soul. So saying, Sonia, wake up, wake up. Sonia, we love you. Sonia, you're beautiful. Sonia, wake up. And it's sort of like that really sweet voice. I always say the sweet voice of spirit. So I always go, sweet voice of spirit. Until they start yelling at you when you do bad things, or smack you on the hands. They'll do that too. But it's like any time my negative mind would come in, my positive mind, or the higher mind I call it, would start talking to me gently and kindly, lovingly, warmly, peacefully, and just tell me, hey, don't think like that. Think about this. Think about this. And I learned that every time I would get into negative ways of thinking, I would shift and change the energy. So if I found myself spiraling out or thinking about the past or an ex-boyfriend or, a negative scene where I felt diminished, I would then stand up, go outside and do star jumps. Not even joking. Right at the beginning, I would do anything. I'd turn on music and like headbang to death metal. Trust me, I went through a death metal stage. Don't get me wrong, I screamed. I needed it. And then the more I started letting go of that and started listening to my higher mind, my music became more peaceful, more loving. The content that I consumed became more peaceful, more loving. And was actually really lucky that I learned that for myself. Sorry guys, I'm going to do duality. Yeah, duality. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, me too. I always love the blind monk story too. Yeah. Can I have a read? Yes, we're doing Christians today. I was trying to change it up. Because of yesterday, when I told you I did a mind meld with someone I care about, and I cried for like 30 minutes. I was drained of energy, and that person got lightheaded and threw up. Sorry, I'm like 33 questions behind messages. The protector. Oh, I want to win the lotto, and you shall. Yeah, evolution is in the part. It's like I call it the evolution of the butterfly. I remember when I first started. I think it was when I first came out online. I mean, as a spiritual person, like I had to literally come out to my family and say, "Hey guys, I've had a big spiritual awakening, and I am now an intuitive." That was really. It takes a lot of courage because my family only ever knew me to make poor choices and to have a ton of kids. Like it was just like, what's going on? She healed? What is this stuff? And then I started talking about the evolution of the butterfly. We go through the caterpillar stage of just mindlessly consuming. That sort of like social conditioning, blah blah blah, getting triggered into the cocoon where we protect ourselves, but in that space we're doing more than just protecting ourselves. We're going through the dark night of the soul. We're dying, we're changing, we're transforming. Like that's a big chunk of our life, is the stage in the cocoon. And then we have to choose to come out of the cocoon, because some of us get comfy in that cocoon. We start getting comfy in the dark, And then we have to learn to fly. We have to hydrate our wings and learn to fly. And then at that stage, we then learn we don't have long to live. As a butterfly, time becomes precious. People become more precious. Things become more precious to us, to our heart. And that's why we become more authentic, because we learn that being a butterfly is a full transformation into freedom. I always call it the evolution of the butterfly. A lot of people do, because it literally is how we sort of go through our spirituality. Big or small, that's right. Thank you, Katie. Yes, that's right. You just hire a plane, and you come on over, and we will all commune Marae style. I actually really love that idea. Lucy, definitely Lucy. And Des. I like that. Yes. Me, I know I'm not a Pisces. I'm actually a Libra sun, a Cancer moon, and a Capricorn rising. But you know, all our natal charts, we're pretty much all of the zodiac signs. It's the Cancer moon that makes me sensitive to energy. But I'm a Libra cusp, so that means I actually have a lot of Scorpio traits. Scorpio is about death and transformation, and they have that deep intuitive side as well. I'm pretty deep as a person sometimes, or I can be very vapid. It just depends. I don't retain, it's funny, because when I do my channeling and all messages, I can't retain people's messages at all. Like my mind, when I'm in the zone, my mind goes completely blank or empty, and that it just allows for more visionary space to open up. Yeah, okay. It's our own fears we have to overcome, yes. Oh, we all are at times, don't worry. We are all our own worst enemy at some point in our lives, but then you'll find that when you start moving along and evolving in your spiritual path, you actually become your best friend and your most closest ally. That's the game changer, is when you start working for yourself towards a brighter future. It's sort of like long game in the end. Oh, that's all right. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Higher Ground. Thank you very much. Sort the unsorted, yes, indeed. Yeah, I know. I felt that when I read your like a little twinge in the heart space. So I knew what that means. So I send lots of love to you, and you know, take your time with it. That's the thing. You don't have to rush to get over it. You know, sometimes you got to have a slow hand and be gentle with yourself, and just let that healing slowly take it away one day at a time. And the thing is, you know, sometimes, well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. When you sort of let go of the grief and step into the remembering of the love, you'll actually find that you'll get a lot of signs and signals, synchronicities, songs, feelings, you know. They used to say that when someone was grieving, that they were closer to God. It's a weird saying to say, but I literally just saw a message like that on TikTok, and it was a historical thing from the past, that someone in grief was actually held in high regard because they were closer to God. I don't know what that meant though, but it was an interesting phrase that just came forward. Yeah, of course, I believe that. Much love to you. Yeah, self-actualization. I love seeing that word in the chat. Yeah, it's really hard. It's to come into that, because you have to break through so many walls. It's psychological. Like for a lot of people, it's psychological. That's why I always say that I heal the mind, because my mind is crazy. but my heart is good. So it's through tapping into my heart space. Like, my heart is really good. That's one thing I'll always say, and one thing my guides would always say, no matter what life threw at me, my heart never got bitter. I would have still, you know, bent over backwards for people, even though there was so much of me that didn't want to do that. I would still do it because it was the right thing to do. And it's sort of like in really tapping into my heart space and becoming heart centered, you then become more soul orientated, and then you're able to go in and learn to face your fears. Some things that you come across, you're going to come across some healing spaces or some stuff, or unlock a box that is really hard to get through. And when it's hard like that, be kind to yourself. Let yourself process it. Slow everything down. Don't think that when you open that box, as soon as you open that box and look at it, that you're going to heal. No, sometimes it gets worse. Sometimes it gets hard and you can't find a solution all the way out, you know. But instead of thinking that you have to be successful about healing this space, and just say to yourself, you know what, I give myself permission to feel a little sorry for myself today. But tomorrow, I'm going to get up and feel better. And it's just like allowing yourself to be human. Allowing yourself to acknowledge that you have hard days or bad days, or that you can't quite get over something today. It's like, be kind to yourselves, because no one else will be. The world is not always a kind place. What I do is that when I feel heavy or density in my energy, or just needing mental health days, I take them. I get myself sorted, I get myself right, I regulate, balance down into my heart space. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Faith. Thank you very much. And then I let myself either watch sad movies, or I don't really watch sad movies or scary ones, but I'll watch like Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, all the things that I like. Kids anime movies, because, you know, I had to watch kids anime movies all my life. Animation, I mean, Encanto, all those kind of things. I've watched those a million times. I've actually cried for some, like what? Kung Fu Panda. I'll tell you, there was a part there where he had to find inner peace, right? And he had to go back and find his past, or who he was. Po, when he went back to the village, and that particular one, that was deep for me. I was like, whoa, I was supposed to watch that. I was supposed to see that, feel that, know that. And it helped me through little things like, oh, I know that. That helped me move through little phases that I was finding it hard to move through. Oh. Okay. Hi, thank you for the share, bot. Oh. I'm a Cancer. I'm a Cancer moon. Yeah, Cancer moons are sensitive. Oh, thank you, Faith. I appreciate that. Holy schmoly. I love Kung Fu Panda. Thank you for that. Cancer moon. Libra sun, Scorpio moon, Cancer rising. Ooh. That's a whole lot there. Scorpio moons are intense. They love hard. They love deep. But watch out if you get on the wrong side of them. I think Scorpio moons are a lot. But you know, the cool thing about that is that, thank you, Faith, I appreciate that, is that you'll need someone that's just as deep and loyal to you. So, you know, you look for those aspects in someone. Cancer rising. That means, you know what the rising is? The rising is how the world sees you. Crabby? Mr. Grips? No. Maybe a thick outer shell, but a ooey gooey center. Sorry. Yeah. Nice blend of air, water, and earth. I'm far behind, and I'm so sorry. So many cancers. Cancers are sensitive. We all need to commune. Woo. Gemini Sun, Cancer Moon, and Cancer Rising. Yeah, that makes sense why the visionary space. Hi Yuta. I'm actually not pulling cards today. Yes, Jesus. We love Jesus. It's funny you come in and say that. I think Jesus died for your sins, by the way. Especially if you're judging people. That's right. I have a great relationship with God. I've had a lot of people come and say, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I grew up in church. My foundational belief is to love God. But I also allow other people to have their beliefs without judgment. Yeah, I do that too, Kylie. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit behind. Welcome back, Faith. Yeah, sometimes you carry them. You know, it's hard because the advice that keeps coming forward is sort of, you know, not carrying it by yourself. Not taking the pain, the grief, the responsibility of it all by yourself. Find your community, you know, to help you. So I feel that. It's pretty, every time I feel your energy come in, it feels heavy. It's me all the time. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Faith. No, yes, that's right. It's not all rainbows and butterflies, guys. Sometimes it's actual pain and suffering and trauma, like actually feeling that. Because it's sort of like you've got to go back and dig up so much crap just to get through things. I mean, it's of choice though. Like, people heal to the depths in which they're capable of healing in the time that they can. So, you know, some people, I watched this actually, some people, they'll go back and heal all the stuff they need to heal, right? They'll go back and heal it all. And then other people, they don't choose to heal it. They choose to just move forward and get over it. So healing is different for everyone. Doing cards or readings. I'm not really reading cards today. We're just sort of chatting today. But I want to in the end. So I might let Ash pick somebody and we'll do an inspired one. I did too. I cried on Encanto. I cried on Encanto too. I don't know why, but there was parts in it that it was actually quite, you know, some of these movies are quite deep, and, you know, when you look at them from like a space of healing, a lot of them give like these undertone of messages that hit home. Yeah. I like putting them on when I go to sleep too, because then I feel positive vibes. It's the only way I can describe it. Thank you for the follow. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, life is already a horror. Sometimes we don't need to be consuming that too. Yeah. Yeah, lots of GM Scorpio. Oh, you're Scorpio gang. Leo. Woohoo. I always like Leos, by the way. I think it's because a lot of my traits are Scorpio and Leos get along. So most of the people that I've ever like really gotten along with were Leos, ironically. And actually, because it's sort of like understanding that Leos aren't just about the bravado. They actually have a very deep undertone of emotional space there. Because if you think about it, the lion, a lion's heart, it's a golden heart, right? I always say that. It's that deep golden heart. And it's always been, for me, when I connect with Leos, it's that beautiful heart that always attracts me. Gemini Sun, Scorpio Moon, Gemini Rising. Man, that's a lot. That's a lot of air. There's a lot of air up there. Capricorn Sun, Aquarius Moon, Capricorn, yeah. Aquarius Moon, Taurus Rising. Everybody's a mixed bag, eh? You're a Leo. That's good. I like Leos. Sagittarius. Ah, yeah, Saggies. I like Sagittarius. My mum and my brother are one. Very strong Saggies. And I'm like a Libra, which is the complete opposite of them. They're doers. They get out there, they do. Well, actually, Libras are too. I think it was always just the Cancer in me, really, that slowed me down. Because I was so sensitive of making mistakes and things. But my mum and my brother, man, you can't stop them. They're like bulldozers. Oh, okay, Des. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in. Well, actually, I was old, Faith. I had a spiritual awakening when I was, how old am I? I'm 43. So I would have been 37, turning 38. Well, I was, officially 38 when I actually started fully knowing. I think I was pretty much spiritual all my life. I was raised through church, so I believed in, all that kind of stuff. And, but yeah, I think for me it was just hard telling them that I was spiritual, because if you understand 5 years ago, the mass spiritual awakening that's happening now on TikTok wasn't happening then. It wasn't happening. It was like a wave of people woke up. For me, it was just because I had to tell everybody, and I'm very private. Like, I'm a super private person. I don't really indulge my deeds to anyone. But except in the spiritual space. In the spiritual space, it's like, this is my zone. I'm comfortable here. I love to talk about my life openly when it comes to spirituality. So when I started coming out to my family, I keep saying it like that, but it's actually not, there's less pressure. But because my family are who they are, it was quite intimidating. I first told, I remember telling my brother, and you know what? He loves the healed space within me. He just goes, oh, here comes the oracle. Puts his hands out, welcomes me. He's like, use your oracle powers. Like, he actually really encourages it in his own lovingly mocking way, but in a way that, he always says, I love this version of you. I like this version of you, Sonia, because I actually get to have my sister. That's quite emotional for me to say. Instead of that hollow shell that I was, that he was seeing in front of him for many years. So, it's sort of like when you have someone who I would feel quite intimidated to tell, which is my younger brother, but he acts like he's my older brother, to say that to me, it's a beautiful feeling, actually, to be accepted like that. Even my mum, she was quite resistant, and she, when I've had a few interactions when I was younger, she would kind of mock me. But now sort of coming to the understanding of what I actually am, and literally we'll sit at the kitchen table and talk about spirituality, whereas before we didn't really talk or have a proper relationship. So it's actually helped me to have a relationship with my family. So yeah, it was hard to come out because I felt I would be judged, but I've been lucky to be accepted by majority of them. Some of them are still, I'm not too sure. But a lot of my cousins that came forward, like I have one of my cousins who came forward. She had one card reading, and this is when I was just sort of getting started. She had one card reading, and in that one card reading, she changed her life because she took the advice that she was given. She took that advice, and then she changed her life in a very good way. She followed her heart, and now she's pretty successful in what she does. And even a few other people, you know, within my own family. But the most help that I've ever really put out is people I don't know. People who actually take that advice that comes forward. And the cool thing is sort of like the more evolved I come in understanding my spirituality, myself, and getting connected with my, you know, my spiritual space, the messages get clearer and clearer. And the processes get easier and easier. So thank you for that question, Faith. I was 37. Vibe tribe, yeah. I like vibes. So energy, vibration, and frequency. I knew when I was younger what my mum was against. Same as me. My mum called me Satan's daughter. When I told her when I was 17, I had an event where I was attacked by a ghost. I was literally attacked by a ghost. And I started from then on, from the age of 17, I started having night terrors, which were like paralyzed kind of fear-based dreams, and I struggle with them. Right even up to this year, I would have them randomly, but I have them less since I've healed, and I found that 9 times out of 10, it's an interesting thing that I've just come to the realization of, that 9 times out of 10, I have those kind of dreams when I'm going to interact with someone who has a lot of negative energy. Whether they lost someone, especially if it's really aggressive or if it's really intense. If they've lost someone, I'll have that. Or if they hold a lot of, you know, negative energy, I'll get stress, what I call night terrors. That's only sort of just been revealed to me recently. Fields to heal. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I go back and heal it all. Oh, yeah, sorry. So I do have a raffle going on. I think I've got like 20 tickets left. And they are $10 each. Sorry, guys. I totally forgot. Because I've been talking and I love to talk. But it is a starter kit here. It was actually... an idea I had, but this is sort of just like the first time I'm doing it. So what it has a tarot deck, New Era Elements Tarot. Let's show some of these. I haven't really pulled them out. There's a guidebook, so you know, especially if you're new to tarot and you don't know, you just see what image wants to come out. Oh. The Lovers. Yeah, there's all those Geminis out there in this thing. And they're just images from around the world. It has the all set Egyptian oracle cards as well. This is all set is Isis. So I actually really like this deck. It has very vivid images and it comes with a guidebook. And the cool thing is that if you don't know how to read this starter pack or this raffle actually comes with a free 1 hour reading with me or tarot class. So I'm going to be starting tarot classes in the near future. But you got Horus, Slow Victory. They've all got meanings. It's actually a really nice, well put together deck. It has crystals as well. So I'll show you guys. Let's just take a moment. And I did this because I'm in a space of moving. So I've been in my house for about 5 years as well. So I started my spiritual awakening in this house. But now the landlord is now selling up and we had to move. We have to move. We're still trying to find a place. But in the time that we moved here and the rents that we have now, like it's huge. Like the difference is huge. So this helps towards my bond for the new house. And this is 2 10ml bottles. What are they? Are they bottled? They got a dropper. Don't mind me opening everything. Just might as well take a moment. Pomegranate essential oils. I actually use this myself. I use it. Sometimes I might put it in a balm or something and just allow that. I love the smell of pomegranate because it's very relaxing. It's very luxurious. It has a lot of spiritual connection as well. So I love that. So it has 2 vials of that. It has a smudge stick. I grew this myself. I make my own smudges in my own garden, all organic. Okay, so I'm just taking off all the little straw things I've got in this box. Sorry, that's my bad. So this one has sage, it has rosemary, thyme, lavender, and flowers from my garden. And I wrap them myself, and I do a lot of energy work. So when I grew all these plants in my garden, I would speak light language. I would, put good intention into the earth around it, because I'm very much into spiritual energy, and what you eat is what you are. So I started growing my own vegetables as well. So there's a smudge in there. So if you're from Australia, I will also I will have to take this out, but I will also let you choose a couple of more crystals to replace that. I have green moonstone, green coral. This is really good for health and stabilizing. If you can see, the light's a bit bright, but it's a green coral piece. Caribbean blue calcite. So if you'd like a raffle ticket, please hit up Ashley and my moderator, my lovely cousin, or me in the DMs, or just indicate in the messages. And here we have a piece of selenite, which is good for clearing. You see what the people do there. We have a big chunk of amethyst here. You may not be able to see the purple. It's fairly decent size. A piece of chalcedony, which is really good for serenity, peace, communication. A polished piece of bloodstone. A piece of rose quartz, just a sharp piece there. See that? I want to say it's terminated, but it's not. And a desert rose. So this also comes with a 1-hour reading with me, or a tarot class if you are new to tarot. Also has some tea lights, and I'll probably put a few other things in for the winner anyway. So once I've sold all the tickets, I will then draw it live here on TikTok, and hopefully one of the winners are out there tonight. So just for Australia, it's only open to New Zealand and Australia, and if you're in Australia, I will have to take out the smudge because of biosecurity, because it's like $220 to send a smudge to Australia. So yeah, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, so, and I'll also be having some smudges come up. I'm going to go into a space of harvesting. I missed the full moon energy that I wanted to harvest on. Sorry, my hair. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it's only $10 a ticket. I think that's pretty reasonable for what's in that box. And my readings are for an in-depth 1-hour class is $85 New Zealand. And so yeah, if you're interested, let me know. Or my cousin in there. Yes. I had a lot of, so yes, was I spiritually minded when I was younger? I'm going to say I was spiritually sensitive. My perception of spirit was God and Jesus and the angels, because that's what I was taught. But I always had feelings, kind of like weird little knowings, or I always was one that had very vivid dreams. So I think we're all like that. For me, it shut down because I had a lot of negativity in my childhood. We had a violent childhood, me and my brother, so it was a hard space to be spiritual in. if you can understand. So I feel nervous saying that. Leos are some of the most loving people, big hearts. Yes, they are. When did I start card reading? I started card reading as soon as I started going through my spiritual awakening. It was just a weird thing. It was by coincidence. Because I sort of just went through sort of like a breakdown. And I just happened to go onto YouTube, and this lady, she was reading cards. And every card she pulled and everything she said resonated with me so much that for the whole entire reading, I cried. And even afterwards, I cried because it was like she spoke to me. It was like she was talking to me and she was saying, Sonia, your life's a mess. You need to change. Yeah, so that was right at the beginning of my spiritual journey. And I started reading for myself. And within like 2 months, I had become very proficient at it. And my friends started encouraging me to read for them. And so I used to do them singly. And then I would do groups, and then I would do parties, like literally people coming over as groups and getting group readings. I've done that many times. And then I was encouraged, you should go on YouTube, you should do this and that. And I was like, okay. And it just, I was actually pretty good at tarot card reading, not gonna lie. I had a lot of popularity. But then my spiritual evolution started and my concepts changed. And I became more spiritual based. So before I talk about people, you know, oh, this is coming to King of Hearts, or you know, your ex-partner, and I used to love those kind of readings. But that's the basic of what tarot actually is, because this is a divination tool. You don't have to just find out about other people and what they're up to. You can find out about what your soul's up to. And the cards started speaking to me when I became more spiritually orientated. And then I found that when I became more spiritual based or soul based in the way that I would read cards, I began to read it like a map. So I would intuitively say the message that I would start hearing in my head. So at first it was a song. You know, I'd hear songs, my clairaudience kicked in, right? And then I would just know things, and then I would sense it or see it, or started noticing things flash across the front of my mind. And that's just how it all started. And then I started getting a lot of personal readings, getting paid for personal readings, doing private one-on-ones, and you know, in real life, because this is pre-COVID, right? Doing one-on-ones, and then doing recorded ones, and then doing Facebook messengers, and you know, that kind of stuff. And then it was just a lot. And then in 2020, I stopped reading for like 6 months because I had to have, I went through a bit of a dark night of the soul, and it's just part of healing processes that there's never just one dark night of the soul. Because the energy, as an energy sensitive and intuitive, the energy got really, really dense in 2020. Because the collective energy, because of what was happening and all the fear that was there, every time I touched the cards were saying negative things. And so I stopped. But in that time, in that 6 months of not reading, I started to heal myself. I went within. I started really getting into the intuition side, where I was communing with spirit. I was communicating with my higher self. When I was starting to cultivate connections with my spirit team. And I went very quiet like a hermit. And then I came out, boom, and I was like, oh, totally different way of reading cards. But they became more truthful too, and less focused on, you know, the ex or the new lover coming in, but more focused on what is your purpose here on the earth. What is your soul wanting you to know? What do you need to heal in this time? And those became what I call guiding light messages, because they were very confronting for people at first. But see, as everyone's starting to elevate in their consciousness, right, and their knowing and their openness to receive messages, well, those kind of messages are less confrontational. because people are understanding the space for them. They know they're healing. Whereas when I started the guiding light messages, they were only just sort of, people were only just starting to wake up in 2020. So I was lucky. I was so glad that I started before 2020, because by 2020 I was in a space of just going through the last bits of a heavy, or what I call like a cluster of healing. So a big chunk of healing within my being, and coming to terms with a lot of stuff. And then yeah, it just became the downside to that. So I was more based on Facebook, but Facebook is pay to play. If you don't put in money, you don't get put out there. And word of mouth became harder because Facebook keeps you very stuck in niches, right? And then my kids would send me TikToks, and I used to laugh, and I used to think it was funny and do all the dances, or try to. I can't really openly dance. I can shake, I can shimmy, I can bob, but I can't do the cool dances like everybody else. Sorry. Hi Danielle. Evening. Yes, thank you. I'm very good. Oh, that's beautiful. Sorry guys. It's funny, Katie, that you say that, because I have this philosophy. I actually did a reading with a lady in the weekend, and she had something very similar thing. And it's just like, you're still the same person, right? You're still the same person. You still have the same belief systems. You're just doing it in a different way that's more harmonious to you. You still believe in your God. You still connect, in whatever way you do to the Creator. So your intentions are still pure. You're still spiritual. It's just that sometimes the religion can be very judgmental on their people. It's hard to describe that. I says, well, my intentions are pure. I send most of my messages out with love and good intentions to help people. So you can still be spiritual and have that religious belief or background. I think it's important. I think it's really important. And guess what? They don't have to see things the way you do, as long as you see what you need to see for you. Okay? Hi Monarch Spirit. Yeah. Night terrors, yeah, they're not fun, man. So yeah, so you must be interacting with someone that has a lot of negative energy. When I was 19, I woke up and felt an entity was doing something sexual, but nothing was there. Yeah, well, it probably was. So if you see my friend Naz T80, he was in here, that's his specialty, body count. Just so you know, if something's touched you, it can sometimes leave stuff inside you, energy, which is negative, and it can work against you. So it's sort of like echolocation, so they find you over and over again. No, I know what that feels like. I know exactly what that feels like, body count. That you are not crazy. That actually happens. That was my experience when I was 17 years old. And it was fear. And then when I was 17 years old, everything just shut down. And when I tried to tell my mom, and this was before, not so much now, she called me Satan's daughter. I couldn't sleep for days. I actually went into I would say I got PTSD from it. Oh, thank you, Katie. And once all the tickets are sold, Katie, we'll do a live, hopefully. Well, I want to do it by Sunday, so hopefully we can get through. Yeah, it does happen. I think there was like a 21 left. Danielle. Oh, thank you. Oh, cool. Thank you, Elizabeth Rose. Appreciate that. It is. It was a bit of a shock because my rent now is only $400. And when we moved in here, that was quite high in that time. So now it's like for us to get a nice house, or the rent is now like $700, you know, between $600 and $700, and it's just a big change. But it's just the bond, because the bond here won't even be half of what we need in moving into the new space, which is kind of freaky. And you know, don't really want to get a loan, so I just thought, well, you know, I have all these beautiful crystals that I have packed away that really need to be loved, and I just pulled out the ones that felt like they wanted to go. This one here, this green moonstone, is one of my favorites. It still is, but I wanted to go, and I was like, oh, and it's hard to put it in that box and know it's going. Only because, but then I know when I send these crystals, they will be cleansed, cleared, and set with good intention. Because, you know, whenever I felt heavy or dense, I would just put it, you know, right in that groove there and let it sit there, and I would just meditate. Lying back, crystals here. I would put this one on my forehead like this. Get the green moonstone over here. Get something on my you know, my root chakra, and just let those energies flow. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna catch up. Thank you for the follow. Yes, Mel, crystals is an obsession. Yeah, that's right. You can talk about anything here. This is a safe space. You know, this is a place where we should be able to share and get questions. You know, if I have the answers, I'll bring it forward. If I have to, you know, drop into a meditation and bring it out, I will. It's hopefully that most of it I'll have some kind of answer for you or explanation. Because sometimes I feel like it only makes sense in my head. So if it doesn't make sense when I explain it, just ask me to explain it better. Oh, kids, sorry, body count, not all of us. Yeah, luckily. So I go outside and I ground. Okay, so what I do is I do the same thing that I would do in the morning, which is let go of all the energies, and I just pull my hands up over my head and bring them down and let go of any energies that do not belong to me, any residual energy left over from others, and I push that energy down through my body into the earth. And I may do that several times, and I'll actually ground as well. So I do that deep breathing in, 3 conscious breaths, bringing in mind, body and soul into alignment. Focus that energy into my heart, and then I put up once again my shield, my orb of light or circle of light. And I just do it in that way. And it's sort of just a knowing that anything negative can be transmuted into light. So light is not just light. Light is knowledge and all love. Me too. Stuff is bricks. Oh, your daughter sees dogs. She sees animal spirits. She also sees a spirit child. I would say, just be mindful of spirit children. Not all of them are negative though. Sometimes they're just energies, residual energies. Oh, it's great information there. Thank you, Mel. Yeah, no, it does happen for sure. And yeah, sometimes, you know, even me, like I remember talking about that years ago. I'd had that experience, and at first I was ridiculed because, you know, what do you, some invisible, well actually it wasn't invisible, sort of jumped on top of me, and I became paralyzed basically, and also couldn't breathe. That's how paralyzed I was. It was just absolute terror. And like hearing things in my head and feeling weird about things, and it was very scary. It was a very scary experience. Danielle, Yeah. Yeah. That's good though. You know why? Because if they're bringing in more symbology to you, you're starting to speak the universe's language and taking more power of yours. So that sovereignty of your own power. I see always, because of my experiences when I was younger, I'm afraid to astral travel. But I actually find that I do it naturally. When I'm channeling, when I'm sitting there doing those readings, I'm actually lucid dreaming right in front of you. Like I'm in that space of, and really just kind of going with it. But it brings forward a lot of visionary space. It's one thing I like about getting more confident in that area of intuiting messages through energy alone without cards, is that it's so much better at seeing things, like seeing the message as a whole message. With the cards, it's just one card at a time. That's why I like to kind of pull 3 out so I can see what the past, the present, and the future sort of as a whole picture, and bring forward that message. Accepted by siblings, although in relationship. Are you asking me if the child would be accepted by the other siblings? Does she have more than one child? I'm not quite sure what she means. Are they much older? Are they to a different partner, or? Just let me know, Meryl. I've heard of astral travelling projection. However, I have a fear that something may take over. Yes, same, yeah, because they do. Well, that's my experience. I used to have dreams of people coming in and literally dragging me out of my bed. Dragging me out of bed. I had some person walk into my room when I was astral. Because what I do, and I know when I'm going, because it's that feeling of levitation, and I don't like it. And I find that I pull myself back in. But sometimes I'm already out of my body and I don't even know. And it's almost like every time something will come in and either try to drag me off. I could never understand why they would just try and, like, I had like many encounters. I know this sounds weird. Many encounters of being thrown over someone's shoulder and trying to walk out the door, and I'm actually holding onto my bed for dear life. Like, no, I don't want to go. But there's also been times where, I've had dreams. I was like, why don't you want it? Why don't you want to see? Why don't you want to open the door and things like that? So I don't know if that's because something's coming and taking me, or my fear of astral traveling or projection kicks in as soon as it knows or becomes aware that I am out of body. So I suppose I have to learn. The way that the visionary space works for me is that this is becoming a reality for me, where I actually have to allow myself to actually project out of my body. It's because, so when I was younger, I used to have this weird thing that would happen to me. So I'd be sleeping and then my back would start to tingle and my room would go really, really cold. And I used to have this fear. And this is just, a thought in my head, that something was always trying to jump on my back. And so when I got my tattoo, I put it on a very specific place, which is on my back. I can't see it. I wish I could. Which is 2 doves on my back. And that was my grandparents in heaven. Their wings gave me wings. They gave me protection, right? And it's sort of like right on the spot where I often felt like things were jumping in me or jumping on my back when I would go to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Yeah. It's not nice. It's an actual condition. that people have. Like they say it's scientific, but a lot of that, you know, coming to know that I it's actually more spiritual based. Can I get a one-on-one reading? However, I'm in South African time difference if I book online. Oh, okay. So if you're in South Africa, it's night time for you and daytime. We can find a space, I'm sure. So if you just message me, Meryl, I think I saw one of your comments, but sometimes I get so many comments and notifications, I don't get to all the comments until days or sometimes a week or so later. So I did see something from you prior to this reading, actually, when I was sort of just sifting through comments. So I'm sorry if I haven't replied to you. But yes, just message me after, just PM me, and I'll send you all the details, and we can work out a time that's more harmonious for the both of us. Oh, you're still there? Yes. Or do you want a one-on-one in Naz's live? When are you going live next, Naz? Are you going live soon? I have to get off soon off my live, guys, because my lovely cousin has to go to bed soon. She has work. First day back after having her baby. First day back to work. Sorry, first day back, and I'm thinking, where are you going? Going back to work. Okay, awesome. Oh, really? Yeah, well, I have a strong spiritual affinity to my grandparents because they were like my safe place. So as a kid, my stepfather was, he was schizophrenic. He was very violent. And there was a lot of trauma there for me. But whenever I was with my grandparents, I felt safe. And I could, you know, just be a kid. But when I would come home, well, unfortunately, I'd have to go on guard all the time. And it was never an easy place to be. So that's why their wings give me wings, you know. Sure. I'm in my week off of personal readings right now. But on the, I think it's the 28th or 29th, I definitely am. But if you catch me in a live, and there's this live, I will, he'll book. I do like guest readings, I guess. Do I have a guest spot on your live? Good morning, you think I should have a relationship with my baby father? Baby father? What does that mean? Your baby's father? You have a baby with him? Well, I mean, I would say yes. But I mean, that's totally up to you. Oh, baby daddy. Yes. Okay. Well, do you love this person? I mean, like, I don't really do those kind of sort of things. But I want to say, if you have love for this person treats you right, I would say yes. When you've had a baby together. I mean, I know it's a modern time, and you have babies with someone, you don't always necessarily have a relationship with them. But I don't know. But then again, I stayed with my kid's dad, and he was horrible. Relationship advice. I don't know if I'm good at giving relationship advice. Well, this is what I say to relationships. When you first meet someone and you love them, you actually do love them in the moment. But love is work. If you want to have a relationship with someone, you've actually got to work for them and with them. Not against them, but with them. It's a team effort. So if you want to have, a relationship with someone, it's not just love, it's effort and dedication. I think yes, I do. I do believe he loves you for real. But you've also got to believe it too, otherwise it isn't real. How was full moon in Virgo? So Virgo is about health. It's about the body. It is an earth sign. It can be very slow moving, which is hard if your energy is pretty energetic. Yeah, it's all three days after. So you have the pre-shadow of the moon, and then you have the post-shadow of the moon, which means for me, I always feel the moon 3 days before. As soon as it comes in, I'll always feel those, and I have body aches as well. So it's just sometimes that we might feel it a little bit more in our bodies. So you look at the earth signs are physical. The energies can be a little bit more denser. Depends on what's going astrologically as well, like what's in retrograde, what's moving, what's going direct, and sort of understand that it can affect us in different ways. But it just could mean that you might need to slow down a little bit, look after your body a little bit more, be a little bit more kinder to yourself. I always say that because sometimes when our body says something like that, like I'm feeling a little bit sore, I'm feeling a little bit low, this is a good time to slow down and honor yourself by honoring your body. I've seen you before, haven't I? Have you asked this question before? Will your home loan be approved? I have no idea. Like, I'm serious. As long as, this is what I'm going to say about home loans. As long as you meet all the criteria, I'm pretty sure your home loan will be approved. Hello. Thank you. Very welcome. Oh, yes, I know. We came out of isolation last week. How are you? Hopefully you're good. No takeaways. Yeah, no, it gets hard. No takeaways. No takeaways. I had McDonald's for lunch. We had an open home today, so I had to get out of the house for half an hour. So we had McDonald's at the beach. Took my kids. It was pretty nice. Nice day today, but it's supposed to piss down with rain. It's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow, so yeah. You're very welcome. But if you ever need any more answers to anything, just message me. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. I'm actually gonna step out of the live today. Thank you for coming in. I wanted to have a live to let you know that there were still tickets left and that I will be hopefully drawing the raffle next Sunday. But I appreciate everybody. Lots of love out there. Thank you to my lovely cousin. I'll see you in the morning when you bring the baby over. My hair looks tidy. And take care, guys. Thanks for the gifts, the comments, the interaction. Yeah, that's right, email, right? Thank you very much. And you'll see me on Tuesday. I'm going to come in and do a live on Tuesday, so look out for me then. And I'll do readings on Tuesday. I just wanted to come in and have a bit of a chat and a connection. But thank you guys. Lots of love to you. Take care. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Katie. Bye.